Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at Etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Inno Roof Rack System with the Inno Aero Crossbars that are 57 inches long and the Inno Through Feet for raised rails right here on our 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. You have your Volkswagen Atlas, it's kind of a larger vehicle, and you may want to put things on there that you don't want inside of your vehicle. Maybe you have your bikes and you want a bike rack, you have kayaks you want to carry, or you just want to carry a roof box. What you need for those are roof racks like these. So this is an aftermarket roof rack from Inno. This is a little special in the way that it has longer crossbars. So you can get crossbars in different shapes and different sizes. But we have our Aero crossbars that are 57 inches long and give you a little bit extra overhang. So if you need more space for more cargo and more adventures, you might be interested in these. Let's talk about overhang. Overhang is going to be measured from your tower to right before your end cap. And here it measures at 3 3/4 inches of overhang. So if you have, let's say, some kayak carriers require a certain amount of overhang, like the Thule Elevator or the Aqua Showdown, that's how much overhang you have to work with. If you have items that clamp down to overhang, that's what you use. Also, if you just don't want to be reaching too far into your roof, that's where overhang comes in handy. What's really cool about your Volkswagen Atlas is you have raised rails, which means you can put your roof rack pretty much wherever you want. So the crossbar spread is up to you. I have my crossbar spread at about 27 inches apart, and that's just because maybe the accessories I have require that crossbar spread. It's really up to you. Just know that it's easy to move around if needed. So we have the Inno Aero Crossbars, and I really like how the modern crossbars are using this aerodynamic design, because as you drive down the road, the traditional crossbars that were square around, those were noisy, those had a lot of wind drag. This has a lot less of that. So it's designed to just feed that wind back and make it less noisy and less of a wind drag on the road. Now we do have the longer crossbars here too with these towers, so this is going to be a low profile fit. So let's take some measurements for the roof. Now for roof clearances, there's going to be two measurements that might be important for you. One is going to be the distance from the roof to the bottom of the crossbar. So that sits at about 2.5 inches of height. So if you have accessories that have clamps that go around your roof, that's what you're going to have to think about. Still pretty decent for most of your roof clamps. And then another measurement is the height added. So from the roof to the top of the crossbar, it sits at about 3 3/4 inches. And that's going to be where your accessories sit. So if you have, let's say, a roof basket, that's going to be the height it's going to be on. If you have skis and snowboards and they're not on an accessory, that's going to be the height they're going to be on. So this is the height added to the top of your car. So this has a weight capacity of 165 pounds. Now remember, whenever we talk about roof rack capacity, please be mindful of your actual roof weight capacity. So you add up the weight of your roof rack, you add up the weight of your accessory, so that would be a cargo basket, and you add up the weight of your cargo. Total all of that and make sure it doesn't exceed the roof weight capacity of your Volkswagen Atlas. So your Inno Roof Rack has a T-track system. That's this thing right over here. So if you have accessories, they feed right into that system and then they go through it. So I really like how you just need to push down on that rubber strip in order to mount your accessories. Makes it so much easier to do so, then you don't have to cut them to size, kind of like some other roof racks require. For example, Rhino Rack has it where it requires you to get more vortex strips after some time, just because you keep cutting up your strips. So this is really cool. Someone else who does that really well is also Yakima. So that's a nice feature. Thule does it as well, but it does come apart. So this is nice, durable, and easy to use. And here we have the towers for raised rails by Inno. So notice how they have lock cores on there. So that allows you to secure your towers, and you do get 2 sets of keys. So these keys access all 4 towers. So without these in place, then you won't be able to mount or dismount your roof rack system. In fact, let's take a look at that process. So the install process for this roof rack is super simple because you have those raised rails. So I have the towers here, I have our end caps here, and I have our crossbar. So I already installed the first crossbar on the front, and we're going to install the second crossbar together. So I have this tower, and it's gonna have those tabs on the inside of that tower. So that tower is gonna go into our crossbar. So just notice where that fits right there. Just place that onto your crossbar and then slide it to engage it. So do the same thing on the other side, and just like that, you're now ready to put this crossbar on your vehicle. One thing to note is just to make sure that the taller portion of your crossbar is facing the front and the tapered portion is facing the back. So here on top of our roof, I actually have John on the other side just to help grab the crossbar. You can do this on your own, but it's a lot easier with someone else helping you out. So those just go by putting the strap around the rails and just kind of getting it lined up. Then we'll take some measurements before we tighten it down. So I already set up my front crossbar. I had that measured. I have it exactly where I want it to go. So now I'm just going to go for crossbar spread. So measure from the center of your front crossbar to your second crossbar. I want it at about 27 inches of crossbar spread, just because. So we'll move that over there. So I have both sides to the crossbar spread I want it to be, so I'm just going to put this strap into that tab, and that will secure it. I make sure that it is flush with our rail over here, and then we're going to go measure for the overhang. So my overhang is going to be 4 1/4 inches on each side. Once each side has the same overhang, you're then going to just tighten it down with this lever. Once you have your towers tightened down, you're just going to flip this lever into the down position. Then you're going to place your towers on there. So these just feed right in there, and then they lock to secure that tower. And then you're going to put the end cap on there too, so that goes right over there. So once you put end caps on all 4 towers and all 4 crossbars, that's pretty much it. You're done with the install. So this has everything you need to mount your roof rack system. You really don't need any tools. You have the lever, you have the keys. One thing I do recommend adding though is the Moki door step. That's what I was using all throughout our video, just because it gives you a little extra traction, a little extra height. Very useful if you have, let's say, a cargo basket up there and you need to reach the straps, or you have a kayak up on there. Definitely something worth considering. So my personal thoughts about this roof rack system is I highly recommend getting the longer crossbars. I know you have different options, I know you have different styles, but for the Volkswagen Atlas, crossbars that are longer just make sense. But if you had a smaller sedan, I would understand not wanting the overhang, because then you could very easily hit your head up on those crossbars. But here, since you have a larger vehicle, you have a taller vehicle, this just makes it easier to load things onto your crossbars. And since Inno just has that nice aesthetic, it works well with a Volkswagen Atlas. But it really is up to you. We have a bunch of different videos right here at Etrailer you can check out with different brands. I personally am a huge fan of this one just because it's so easy to throw them onto our raised rails. You don't need any tools. You just need to use these keys and maybe the Moki door step if you're interested in it. So all in all, great roof rack system, works well with our Volkswagen Atlas, and gives us some pretty good weight capacity. So that was a look at our Inno Roof Rack System with the 57-inch long Aero Crossbars, our towers for raised rails, right here on our 2018 Volkswagen Atlas.